I don't know if anyone noticed that the United Kingdom has an actual king again. It was a very small deal, very reasonable ceremony. But as such, I think it's time we returned to our little adventure series. King's Quest 2! Romancing the Throne? Like a pun playing off Romancing the Stone, the 1984 Robert Zemeckis film? That seems like a random choice.
That's just the beginning of what's going on down here.
The first King's Quest broke new ground with its fully explorable graphic adventure game world, but there were times I thought its design was questionable. I was actually curious what lessons could be learned and improvements made with the sequel. Would things evolve for the better, or would they just get more cruel? So let's find out. Like with the first game, I'm playing the GOG version, and thank you to ScumVM. I have this seal here, which means I have not used a walkthrough while playing, and of course I'll be keeping track of the deaths. Oh lord, will I? The game opens with a big fancy title card, and a rather muscular and hunky King Graham reintroduces himself. Just as you start to think the graphics sure have seen an uplift, we then get dumped into the throne room where the last game ended, in all its 16-colour glory. Glad we eventually got around to cleaning up the dead king though. No need for a manual this time to explain the setup, as we are treated to an expository cutscene! Oh, what a novelty! Basically, our dapper and handsome King Graham wants a queen, but having checked every corner of his throne room, he can't find one. Graham consults with the magic mirror dating app we found in the last game, and is told that the one for him lies waiting atop a tower in a distant land, trapped behind a magical door. So once again, our brave knight-turned-king gets ready for another quest. Although, would this be a queen's quest, when you think about it? Like, we were questing to become a king before, and now we're questing to get our queens, so BAM! Here we are. Once again, we're in the AGI engine for this, which, in the last video, I misidentified as the Adventure Game Interface instead of Interpreter. I read the Wikipedia page for it so many times, I don't even know how I made that mistake. Unlike the first game, Sierra did not remake this game with its VGA technology, after the first remake was received quite poorly. However, fans themselves made their own remake of King's Quest 2. It looks like it changes a lot, so we'll stick to the classic version. I will say the art has seen an improvement from last time around. Not in terms of technology, but more care and consideration has been taken within the limited palette and resolution. Shadows from trees and other objects might be drawn to give a better sense of scale and place, and sometimes there's just flat out more detail in a drawing. Here are some flowers in King's Quest 1. Here's some in King's Quest 2. It's not much, but it's interesting to see things develop over time. The soothing and delicate sound of rolling waves, that's what that static noise is, might make you think there's going to be more sounds this time around. And sort of? Again, there's certainly efforts being made to improve the presentation, even adding a few more musical stingers now and then that you'll recognise by them being PC speaker noises, but mostly you'll be in silence as you move across this new land. It'll help you focus on drawing yourself a map, which you will absolutely need once again. The existence of this beach means that the game has a solid boundary on its horizontal axis, rather than scrolling forever. It does still scroll infinitely on its vertical axis though, so I make a good loop of the coast first, tossing that look command around each and every screen to know if there's anything special for me here. And thank God for that look command. See this screen? What do you think sticks out the most here? The log? Well, you can't do anything with the log. But the look command does tell you about a seashell. Yeah, that thing there. What do you know? It's actually a clam. Weirdly, there's nothing inside the clam, but there is a necklace underneath it? Alright, Graham claims it, as is royal custom for visiting foreign lands. Once again, there are treasures to collect in the game, which are basically just there for points. And once again, I did not get all the points in my first playthrough. Frankly, I'd be shocked if anyone ever got all the points in this game without a hint book. On sale now at your nearest reputable dealer of Sierra Adventure Games. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. There's also this trident. Wonder who that could possibly belong to. I tried to get some coconuts out of the tree, but I'm not allowed. Okay, let's move inland. Despite being a whole new region, this sure does look a lot like ye old Daventry. Oh, but a lovely little cottage. Obviously, before I go in, I'm going to steal from the modern American-style mailbox. A basket of goodies? Huh. I wonder who lives inside this house. Oh boy, we're still in fairy tale land. Luckily, I managed to make my escape, while the wolf is still wondering about whether or not to get out of bed to get his food. Man, I get it. Just like Daventry, there's a heck of a lot of lakes around here. So far so standard. Oh god. Why is there a giant toxic river here? It goes all the way around too. I later see that it's all surrounding this one creepy castle. Like, its presence corrupts the world around it. Wonder if we'll be going there. I find a wooden stake randomly around the woods, but then we get our first death when Hagatha the Witch appears right on top of me and carries me off to her cauldron. There is no escape. It's been a little while since I saved, so let's go back to where we were. There's more speed settings in the options menu compared to the first. Fast is obviously faster than normal, but not so fast it's hard to control like it was in the last game. That option is now called fastest, and it runs the game as fast as your PC can go. Fortunately, ScumVM emulates a sensible PC for the time, otherwise my rig would make Graham go so fast he'd end up in a parallel universe. We catch up, and I go for a swim in the lake. A regular one. You can still swim in this game. You can't jump or crouch anymore though, but I think I'm thankful for that. I check inside a log, and what do you know? There's a diamond and sapphire necklace inside. Better make sure you've got some presents for your bride-to-be, Graham. Wander around the woods for a bit when... Oh, now this looks like progress. It's not locked, so we'll just walk right on in. There's a ladder leading down, taking us into a cozy little home. The look command tells me it's for the little dwarf. Yeah, I remember him, and I had enough of that guy in the last game. Frankly, I consider this whole place free game. I open his chest and steal some more treasure, and also being careful not to set myself on fire, steal his soup. The whole pot, just in my pocket. And now to make out of here like a bandit. Oh, I get it. The ladder's at an angle. So I gotta adjust myself while climbing. Sure, okay. I'm glad the game is letting me know early that it's going to be completely unfair to me. Oh no! Hagatha's after me again! I think I'm just gonna leave, thank you, while she gets stuck behind a tree. Just across from the cottage is a monastery. Outside, I'm greeted by a fairy. Just like in the last game, fairies bestow protective spells that'll save me from danger. You know, like from getting witched again. Inside the monastery, I find a monk. So deep in prayer he does not notice me. I pray too, and that ends up catching his attention. I introduce myself to him, and the monk says he knows of me and my quest. Somehow? He gives me a silver cross to protect me from evil. Spoilers, I never use it, because it turns out I meant to wear it, and I didn't think to do that. Also, can we just ask why this place is clearly following Christianity? In a realm full of dragons, fairies, giants, dwarves, and other fantastical beasties? I know the good book has some far-out stuff in there already, but this world feels like God gave himself longer than a week and started getting weird with his work. I've still got a map to fill out, so let's keep exploring. Oh, a bridge. When I use the look command, they describe it quite ominously. Are you entertaining thoughts of crossing it? Well, yeah, but I guess I'll save first. Oh, look at that. I cross it just fine. Neat. My score increases by a single point. I do not notice this. The other side of the chasm is a mountain. I guess this is the edge of this side of the world? Oh, but up here is a magical door. Behind this door lies our future love. It is, of course, locked, so I guess I need to find a key somewhere. Doesn't appear to be anything else here, so I guess I'll go back. My score increases again. I do not notice this. It seems the mountain range extends all the way down here. Oh, hello. Another house over here? Well, let's see about getting inside. Oh, it's apparently an antiques shop? It's closed, though. And so, we can't go in, because it's closed. And we respect that of this building, I guess? The last place to see on the map is a rather uninviting looking cave. Well, guess I'll go inside and have a look. Oh, it's Hagatha's cave. This is where she boiled me alive that one time. There's a cage with a nightingale inside. It sings as I take it. And then I just leave with it. I'm sure it's useful somewhere. That's basically everywhere explored on the map now. Time to start solving... some puzzle somewhere? I'm bumming around trying to work out what I'm meant to be doing here. Finding a key, sure, but I don't feel there have been many obvious puzzles that I expect to see by now. There's not really a thread of logic for me to follow, which makes the game feel like there's not much driving me forward. Like, there's a lacking sense of adventure in my adventure game. I guess I could revisit a few places, like Grandma's house. Oh, it's actually a grandma in here now. The wolf, it turns out, is a random event. So you just leave and re-enter until you get Granny. Where does she go when the wolf is here? Where does the wolf go? Do they have some kind of arrangement? There's nothing interesting about her house, but Granny herself is feeling sick. Ill or not, frankly, I say we call this adventure short and marry her. I'm not sure I'll be able to do much better. Ah, the game won't let me though. Damn. Alright, let's give her some of that soup I stole. She looks better after having it, and says there's a present for me under the bed. A cloak, tall, dark, dashing with a red inlay, and a ruby ring with the initials C and D engraved on it. I have a stake, a silver cross, a great black cape, and a ring with CD engraved on it. Oh my god, is Charlie Day in this game? Aw man, I love Always Sunny. So I return to bumming around and run into Red Riding Hood. This is actually a stroke of good fortune, as she is also a random event and appears in different spots on the map with little rhyme or reason, but not always. Thing is though, she's critical to progress. She tells us someone stole her basket. Oh, you mean the same one I found in Grandma's mailbox? She never says that was where she was meant to be going in this version of her story. So, what? Did the wolf steal it for Granny? Seriously, what kind of relationship do they have? I give Red her basket back. Sorry, got to get closer. Then she gives me a bouquet of flowers in return. Ah, look at her. Look how happily she skips around. No, you can't marry her either. She's underage, and it wouldn't be right for a member of royalty to be with someone who's underage. My lawyer has recommended I do not complete this joke. I discover I can put on the cloak. It doesn't change how I look, though. I guess art and animation was hard to do in 1985. I decide then to swim out to see what I can see. Turns out you can just do this. You can't dive down, which I was kind of hoping to do after the last game, so I continue to swim so far out that the game informs me I have no hope of returning. I bum around again. You get ambushed by an evil enchanter, who looks like the sorcerer from the last game, but luckily I have this fairy spell still on me, so no problems here. I go to the southern bank of the poisoned lake and put on the cloak and also wear the ring, thinking, for some reason, that it might turn me into a vampire or a bat and let me cross the poisoned lake. This, does not happen. Alright, I'm really at a loss now, and so soon into this. Maybe the door holds some kind of clue. I cross the chasm back over to it. Another point gained. And I begin to examine the door. Turns out there's an inscription on the door. Didn't see that earlier. Whosoever chooses to seek the key for this door will undoubtedly make a splash. Ah, interesting. Maybe they mean there's water in this chasm, and I'll get the key by plunging into it. No, I guess not. So I go back. Another point. And head towards the ocean. I've got it in my head that I need to catch the fish that appears on the screen using the trident. That's what a trident is used for, I think. But alas, I cannot. I even slow the game's speed down just so I can get the command off while the fish is in the air. But it's all for naught. Let's just keep walking around until I get an idea of what to do, I guess. Oh, I guess we found it! A mermaid beckons me with her hand, but honestly it just looks like she's snapping her fingers to some jazz. It might be a bad idea to listen to the siren's call, but frankly, I'm on board with just getting Graham a gal and splitting. I can't talk to her, so I give her the bouquet of flowers as a show of intent. Turns out that's what she wanted, and now she'll give me a ride on her magical seahorse. Hey, progress! The seahorse transports me down into the depths of the ocean, past all these disinterested sharks, and straight to Poseidon himself! Oh, sorry, it's Neptune. Damn the Romans. We can't talk to him because we're underwater, but he's probably looking for his trident. I hand it over, and he's glad to get back his prized possession, and in return gives us a bottle, and also opens a giant clam to reveal a key inside! The key is very welcome, though the bottle just feels like he's telling Graham to pick up his human litter. There is a cloth inside though, you'll need that. I leave quickly, not wanting to stick around for too long in case the game decides I run out of air. Right, time to unlock this door. Here we go. The key to the first door fits easily into— What do you mean, first door? A second door appears, with another inscription on it. God damn it. It was never going to be easy, was it? Whosoever chooses to seek the key for this door should set their sights high. Right, okay. I'm reasonably sure then I've got to get atop this mountain. God only knows how. I bumble around for a while here, and we're going to skip all of that because absolutely nothing happens for like 20 minutes for me. What I'm meant to do is go back to the antique shop, which is now open. Okay, I guess. I go inside and there appears to be only an old oil lamp for sale. I ask how much to buy, and she says it will cost 2 of my treasures. Sure, I don't care about points, but she does have another offer. Can you believe that a witch stole her precious nightingale? If we, the great hero, can go and get her bird back, braving the cruel witch's lair, then— Yeah, here you go. She gives us the lamp, and then forcibly throws us out of her shop. Bam! We rub our lamp, and oh, looks like there's a genie inside. Who'd have thunk it? The genie doesn't give us a wish for anything we want, though. Like what genies do? I guess this would be a short game if I could just wish for my bride to appear in front of me, and then wish for him to teleport us back home. Then, for my final wish, I ask for a 12-inch submarine sandwich. Oh, baby. Instead, the genie just gives us a magic carpet that he had lying around, I guess. Well, that does solve our problem, I suppose. Oh, and a fairy blesses me before I use it. I guess some protection would be very welcome, thank you. I fly up through the clouds and reach the top of the mountain. You can even see the poison lake from up here. That's cool, actually. Oh no, a single angry snake blocks our path. And this takes me a while. Get too close, and he strikes. I guess magical fairy spells don't make for good antidotes. Talk to the snake, and he actually talks back, and tells you to step off. Big don't tread on me energy from Slithers here. Diplomacy is not an option. So, what do? Well, I actually still have the lamp, so I rub it again, and the genie gives me a sword. The sword is described as having a snake carved into it, which feels like a huge hint that this is what I meant to use to kill the snake. Alright? Use sword on snake. No. Use sword. No. Attack snake. No. Swing sword at snake. No. Go close to him while holding the sword. No. Doing it again. That was an accident. Rub the lamp a third time. This gives me a bridle, and now the lamp is gone. 3 wishes done, I suppose. The bridle seems nice. Leather with a silver bit. Graham didn't come here to ride a snake, though. Fly the carpet over him. No. It takes me back down the mountain. Throw bottle at snake. No. Use bottle on snake. No. Ask snake to leave. No. Charm snake. No. Use cross on snake. No. Hiss at snake. No. Give a clam to the snake. No. Give the snake the sword. No. Give snake. What? Kill snake. Yes! Just kill him. That's all you needed to say. Just kill the snake. I can't even take the snake as a trophy. Oh, and we'll talk about the other thing with the snake in a while. Behind the ex-serpent is a cave, which holds our key. Thank God for that. Ride the carpet back down and let's sort this door. I don't have much hope that this is going to be the end of it, and sure enough, I cross the bridge and unlock the door, revealing a third door with a third inscription. Whosoever chooses to seek the last key must have a stout heart. I mean, I like having a stout when I'm down the pub, but that's probably not what they mean. I don't know, I'm glad it's the last key, but let's go to the castle. It's the only thing left here. Oh, the bridge broke? I try again. No, it broke again. and on the way back, again. Does it only let me cross a certain amount of times? No, surely not. But maybe? I can't ride the magic carpet after coming back off the mountain either, so that can't be a solution? I can't figure out what to do outside of crossing the bridge. Wait, don't tell me I have to. So then I checked online. Not using a walkthrough to see what to do, I'm not looking for solutions, but if this game really is as cruel as I'm beginning to think. Still, this counts as breaking the seal. Turns out, yes, the bridge can only be crossed a certain amount of times. 7 in total. On the 8th time, it collapses. But also of note is certain events in the game will only happen if you read the inscription on each door. The mermaid appearing on the rocks after reading the first door, and the antique shop opening after the second door, for example. Meaning, you have to, accounting for all those flags you need to trigger, and also opening the final door, cross the bridge 7 times, at least. If you cross it once more, a single time that you didn't have to, you have failed. You cannot beat the game, and you can go on blissfully unaware. You've got dead man walking syndrome. The moment I didn't read the inscription on the door, the first time I'd crossed the bridge, I had already lost the whole game. So, that means I need to go back. I don't remember in which save I crossed the bridge first, so that means I should probably play through the whole game again? Okay, fuck it, let's go. Get the clamshell and bracelet, get the trident, get the nightingale. Some guides tell me to put the cloth over the nightingale before getting it to make it so it doesn't sing. I think because sometimes Hagatha is here as a random event and her eyesight is bad, so this is how you sneakily take the bird. But she isn't always here, so I can just walk out with no problem. Go to the dwarf's home, leave and re-enter his living room until the dwarf is no longer here. He's also random. Get the soup, get the earrings, go to grandma's, leave and re-enter until that wolf stops appearing. Give Granny soup, get cloak and ring, get the basket from the mailbox, track down Red and give her the basket and get flowers. Get the steak. Get ambushed by Hagatha, who appears in the middle of the screen and instantly kills me. Redo all that, but this time, Hagatha is riding the Batmobile. Sure, okay. Now Red Riding Hood isn't appearing, so I guess I'll move on. Get the necklace from the log. Get ambushed by the dwarf who steals something from my pocket. You can get back what the dwarf steals in this game by going to the chest in his home, but I do not have the patience anymore, thank you. Pray at the monastery and get the cross. Now cross the bridge for the first time and read the inscription. Cross the bridge for a second time to get back. Hunt around for Red Riding Hood until she finally appears and I get the flowers back. Give them to the mermaid. Ride the seahorse to Neptune, give him his trident, and get the bottle and the first key. Ride back. Cross the bridge again and open the first door. Read the second door's inscription. Cross back. Discover a new treasure that was hiding in an opening between some rocks. No, that doesn't make replaying all of this worth it. Go to the antique store. Use the bird to pay for the magic lamp. Rub the lamp and get the carpet while the enchanter gets stuck on the geometry. Ride the carpet, rub the lamp again for the sword, kill Snake, get the key, ride back, cross the bridge, open the door, read the new inscription, and then for the 6th, but not final time, cross the bridge. And now I am caught up. Good Lord, why? Why make a game like this? If you know what you're doing, this only takes about half an hour, but it feels so much longer when you're boiling with rage. Reading the third inscription reveals an ominous ferryman, who doesn't talk, but will let us ride in the boat if we're wearing the coat and ring, as if he was mistaking us for someone else. Look, it's Dracula. It's his castle. You can hear the music I'm playing. This does beg the question of how Granny had his cloak and ring. Granny just, really likes those classic monsters, I guess. Before we can get into the castle, we have to go through the front yard, which is actually very straightforward, so long as you're not in a Sierra adventure game. Unfortunately for you, this is absolute hell. You have to walk so precisely amidst these poisoned brambles, being incredibly careful not to touch any thorn, or where the game says a thorn is. The middle path feels like there's literally a single pixel of space for you to move across. And that path is not perfectly straight, so you'll have to readjust yourself. Save when you're halfway across, because even getting the right angle on that final bit can be a little bit tricky. Thank you for the comments on the last video letting me know the numpad can be used for easier navigation if I turn off numlock. I can't remember the last time I had a keyboard that showed those arrows and commands as their alternate functions, so yeah, thanks again. Then you'll make it forward to some spooky ghosts guarding the main door. I try a bunch of things here before I just walk in. I'm still disguised as the Big D here, so of course they let me pass. But why have them here when the solution is the same solution to the earlier problem? Whoa, Sierra, cool it with those production values here. Fun fact, the composer for this game was none other than Al Lowe, who'd go on to create the Leisure Suit Larry games. Nice work, Al. This castle has a main hall, 2 towers, and a dining hall, where there's a ham on the table. We take the ham. You do not want to forget the ham. There's also a basement, which would be a really bad idea to go down in the dark, so we'll do it anyway, and end up falling down with no idea how to get back up. I climb one tower and find a chest. However, it's locked, so we go back down. I do try and take the torch off the wall before I go, but alas, it's bolted on. Same with this one for the other tower, which I climb up and into a bedroom. It didn't occur to me immediately, but I don't think this is Dracula's. Vampires sleep in coffins, right? So who could this... Oh, you devious little minx. There's a candle in the dresser, so we take the candle and light it on one of the torches and make our way into the illuminated basement. Got a bad feeling about this place. What the... Is that a rat? Oh, don't tell me this kingdom is infested with wall rats too. This looks more like Dracula's bedroom. This room is also tied to a random event, as sometimes Dracula is in his coffin, where, for maximum points, you can kill Dracula with the stake. Oh, but only if you also got the mallet, which is in this tree in this field because it's King's Quest, and where else would it be? I did not find this, nor even saw the head vampire at all, so I did not do any of this on my first playthrough. But if you do kill Dracula, you will get a key, and you might think that's the key to open the door you've come here for. But it's not. It's for the chest upstairs, which just has more treasure in it. The fact it's a different colour, silver instead of gold, is your only clue. If you go all the way back to the door with the wrong key, you've wasted your trip, and because of the bridge, your life too. Instead, the key you want is underneath the pillow inside the coffin, something that's easier to notice when Dracula isn't here. So I ended up winning out by not having him appear. I did try that key on the chest, thinking it would be for that, but no. At least my mistake wasn't fatal. Except I died on the way there. Time to leave the castle. I would have assumed the whole place abandoned if I didn't trigger one event with Dracula in the main hall. Oh my word, how terrifying. But I just left and re-entered to make him go away. Being able to do this feels unfair, but the game has been more than unfair to me already, so now we can put all of this behind us and go back. Oh god, I've got to go through the brambles again. Want to know something fun? I found this out after the fact, but it turns out when you're fighting the snake, killing him with the sword is the wrong thing to do. If you instead throw the bridle on the snake transforms into a magical horse that gives you a magical sugar cube. This magical sugar cube grants immunity to poison brambles, so you can just walk on through. This is complete nonsense, And frankly, I now believe adventure games were a mistake. We finally did it. One final cross of the bridge, and we unlock the door, revealing a world unlike any you've seen before. This isn't a princess. I walk along the blue shore and see a net. That's a net, apparently. I try to check if there's anything secret with that waterfall, but no, I'm swept away and I drown. There doesn't appear to be anything else here. I can't climb the cliffs either, it's just me, the rocks, and the sea. Okay, I cast my net into the sea. You fish and fish and fish. However, no matter how hard you try, you don't seem to be able to catch anything. I tried baiting the net with the ham, but that's not allowed. Okay, I'll try another screen. No. Can't ride the carpet here either. I try another screen. Still, it doesn't work. I can't cross over. I fall in and drown at one point too, including dying off screen. I try all sorts of things, including catching Graham in the net. However, that would work. And then I just fish again on a whim, but this time I do catch a fish. Oh god! I quickly scoop up the giant fish and think, yeah, I have to ride the fish out of here. That makes sense. I try putting the bridle on the fish, but no. And I've dallied too long, so as I try to return the fish to the ocean, it suffocates and dies. I gotta be quicker. I don't know if there's plenty more fish in the sea, so I reload just to be safe. The fish appears, would you believe it, randomly, as evidenced by me now getting it first time. But it can take multiple times to get him to appear. I wouldn't mind this if the text didn't imply I was doing something wrong by repeatedly fishing. This time, I grab the fish and throw him back in the water immediately. As thanks for saving him, he'll let me ride on his back across the sea. Saving him? I'm the one who put him in danger. I shouldn't be rewarded for driving a guy to the hospital if I'm the one who stabbed him. Either way, the fish takes us on a dizzying trip, and we're flung onto a new island. There's nothing really here along the shores, apart from an amulet that the game screams at me is on the ground the second it appears on screen. It has the word home engraved upon it. Okay, yeah, I think I get it. The only other thing of note here is the great tower where our princess is being held. So, yeah, let's get our gal. Let's leave this. Let's finish this stupid game. We go up the winding staircase that will probably kill me if I step off of it. And on the top floor is our lovely lion. He's chained to the wall, but will probably kill us if we get too close. But luckily, we still have Dracula's ham, which sates this beast completely. You did get the ham, right? You can't go back and get it, so if you didn't, you'd have to reload. Anyway, we're now free to enter the room. You have found her, the girl from the magic mirror. She is even more beautiful than you had imagined. Oh my god, it's Granny! Just kidding. It's the wolf. Okay, it's the princess. And yeah, she's a real catch. Graham's just head over heels for her. Hey, let's get to know each other first, right? Her name is Valanice. That's nice. Well, I'm Graham. Hey, you're welcome. Don't worry about it. You want to get married? Okay, sure. Let's take it slow. There's nothing else of import to do here, but use the amulet and go home. From the tower, we're magically transported away. Straight to the wedding. Damn, I've been getting mixed messages from this girl. But at least everyone is here, including people from the first game, like the giant and the dragon, who both tried to kill me? Wait, didn't I kill the giant? How'd he get here? It doesn't matter. The monk declares us man and wife. And thus we return to our, humble abode to rule as king and queen. Our final reward? It tells me to ask my local games dealer about King's Quest III. To summarise, good lord, this was frustrating. The use of flags triggering events is really the worst kind of design. It's horribly inorganic, and tying it to this arbitrary middle finger to the player is almost vindictive. Was the rest of the game not already cruel enough? King's Quest I may have been obtuse and ready to kill me, But compared to its sequel, that game's starting to look a lot better. At least I could explore and do things in whatever order I want. I didn't have to flush a toilet, which would unlock a door 4 miles away. I could forgive the first game for its oddities, as it was, as I've said so many times now, breaking new ground. King's Quest II has less of an excuse. I genuinely wonder if King's Quest II's design was just a plot to sell hint books. I know the Sierra hint line wasn't set up yet, and honestly, I dread what puzzles these games will throw at me when they want me to ring Sierra themselves on a toll line to get clues. So, I guess I'm committed to doing more of these games, even if it might frustrate me. What's next then? Well, it won't be King's Quest III, despite this game's insistence, but instead, a game that you'll actually see here in King's Quest II if you happen to look in one singular hole on top of the mountain. It's kind of an awkward way to end this video, but it's about as awkward as that advertisement was. Hey, thanks for watching this video. Nice to be back, I guess. Got some real treats lined up in the future. And an extra special thanks to my patrons, supporting me in making these videos. Patrons get access to updates on what I'm working on, and can ask questions in Q&A segments at the end of videos, which we'll get into right now. In your opinion, what's the most visible contribution that the King's Quest series has had on modern video games? Giving PC adventure games a visual representation of its world and characters can't be understated. It's such a step to go from typing to go south to actually going south. As for the impact on modern games, it's been so long since then, measuring its influence is like working out which butterfly flap caused the typhoon. What's your favourite genre, and which game got you into it? Probably old school style shooters. I love the emphasis on balancing weapons, enemies, and level layout to create different experiences. I actually got into it quite late in 2008. I was 14 at the time when I first played Duke Nukem 3D. I loved it immediately, and I've loved shooters ever since. Do you have a comfort game? Related, it's Quake, the first one. I can fire it up and play it solo or multiplayer, main game, levels packs, custom mods, all at the drop of a hat and just relax. Do you watch much YouTube? If so, who are some of your favourite YouTubers? A lot, honestly. Here's just some of my subs, but there's much more I check out pretty regularly. Does Boris like his belly scratched? Hey Boris, do you like having your belly scratched? Guess not. That's all for now. Space Quest won't be for a while, and I've got something very different to normal lined up next, but after that, we can look at an adventure game I absolutely love. Thank you to you all, and I'll see you later.